Athletes, welcome back to our second test. Now, if you're following along, we've done our single leg Bulgarian split squat test. We got hand release push-ups now. And with these hand release push-ups, we're gonna give you a set of standards that you're gonna follow along, because like any test, you gotta follow the rules to make sure that we get everything out of this we possibly can. We got Ethan, we got Clara, and we are ready to hand release push-up with you. Athletes, so we are into the warm-up for our hand release push-up test. And if you hear me stutter on this, it's because I keep trying to say handstand push-up test, but I'm not pulling the sneaky on you. I'm gonna make sure we're doing hand release. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at the movement, and then we're gonna get into our warm-up piece for this. So I'm gonna have Ethan get down on the floor for me. And then what he's gonna do is he's gonna get into his handstand push-up, his hand release push-up position. Now, a complete rep is gonna be starting at the top, going down, hands come off the floor, and then pressing back up. That is one rep. Go ahead and relax. So what this means is, and yes, I'm being a little tough on you, I'm not allowing you to rest on the floor in between your reps. You have to complete the full down, hand release, and then push up for that to count as one rep. I know that doesn't sound fair, but we're trying to get you to get a certain number of reps, and we want to make sure that each rep is repeatable. Now, if you don't have 15 to 20 solid regular push-ups, so I'm gonna have Ethan give us a couple of those, and this is what it's gonna look like, is that he is no hand release. This is our test to figure out what version we're gonna do. He's gonna go down to the floor and press right back up, and he's gonna keep doing push-ups for us. I'm not gonna have him do a lot, but I need to see this same form of keeping it a nice tight core from heels to shoulder all the way through so that we can keep that push-up position. We're not doing, give me a couple worm push-ups for me. Like, just like collapse into that push-up. Like collapse, I can't have this. So if this is where you're at with your push-ups right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify. You can rest, Ethan. We're gonna come over for Clara, and what we've done for Clara is that we have a box that she's gonna be doing her push-ups on. So with this, she's gonna show us what this form looks like. She's going down, making contact with her sternum, and then she's gonna press right back up. Now, a box can be kind of awkward to use, so if this is all that you have, then this is what you can use. You can go ahead and relax, Clara. If you have access to a rig and a barbell, then I would suggest that you try using that. The cool thing about that is you can customize the height a little bit more. Just remember that if we put that bar at a 17 on the rig, every time that we come back and we're practicing this, or we're doing our test retest, or that we're doing our work on this, we want to keep that same height on the rig so that the test is repeatable. We don't want to pick random heights or use a different rig each time if we can help it. But if you got a box or you got a chair that you can stabilize, the most important thing that I'm looking for is that when we come down in this position, I need to make sure that we have this A-frame. So that means that with my arms, they're coming down at around that 45-degree angle. If my hands are so close in that I'm coming in and I'm making an I with my body, or I'm making a T with my body, we gotta change that positioning. Because with this, a push-up is a great movement for upper body strength, but we're doing it improperly, you end up getting shoulder impingement, and that is not what we're looking for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get into our warm-up. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have both athletes lay down on the floor on their stomachs for me. And then what we've got is that we're gonna take our hands and we're gonna place them behind our back, touching our hands together over the small of our back. We're gonna rotate out overhead, touch our hands together, and then come back down. I'm gonna have athletes begin working through this. We're gonna go 4 to 5 reps here. Now this is gonna be tough, but we're getting those shoulders to that full end range through this movement. And it's one of those things that you can put in. This is a great piece to put in if you don't have bands, but I'm telling you, it's tough. Your hands want to touch the floor, but I'm not letting you. After we get done with those reps, we're gonna go ahead and get into our hand release push-up position. Now, even though Clara is going, back down, Clara. Even though Clara's gonna be going on a box, I will allow her to do knee push-ups during the warm-up position, or portion. So let's go ahead, and I want you guys to go ahead and press up for me, back down. Let's release hands off the floor and then press again. And let's go ahead and just go through a few reps here. I'm not gonna burn you out. You're going at your own pace. Remember, if we need to rest when we're doing our test, we're gonna come back to our knees and we have to rest at the top. You can't rest at the bottom of our push-ups. I'm gonna go ahead and have athletes stand up for me. And what we're gonna do next is that we're gonna start with our left arm. With this left arm, we're gonna start doing shoulder circles or arm circles with this arm, and I want you to specifically focus on trying to get to the longest end range you possibly can. So I want both athletes to go through, and this is you finding corners that you normally don't hit in that shoulder range of motion. So you're thinking about being a big clock, and this is the arm that is showing what time it is, and you gotta have them all the way across the country seeing what time it is right now. So you gotta reach at all positions through here. Let's reverse the motion on that arm, and let's go the other side. Sorry, the other direction. And we are reaching. I'm gonna have Ethan reach more. He's gotta reach at all times during that. Let's switch arms right now, and we're gonna do the same thing here. So reach with that arm. I need you to reach and try to hit the ceiling, try to hit the floor. You gotta get to all those corners in that shoulder. I know, this is tough to do, isn't it? Let's go ahead and reverse the direction, because after all, we don't just go one direction, which is a fantastic band. It's one of my guilty pleasures. After we finish up with this, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our arms, and I just want you to give me arm circles. We're gonna start out small. So I want out to the sides just like this, and let's go baby circles in one direction. I don't care which way you go, but let's go tight, faster, Clara. You gotta go faster. It's like you're trying to fly. You're like a baby bird. Now let's go bigger circles. Let's go bigger circles, the biggest circles you got. And relax, let's go back out to the sides. Let's go opposite direction now. Baby circles, little baby bird Clara. She's getting out of the nest. She's learning how to fly. Bigger circles. Bigger circles. And relax. Now what I want you to do is take both hands, put them in front of you like this. And now we're going opposite direction, opposite hand. So one hand goes in one direction, the other hand goes in the other direction. So there you go. Yeah, you don't think about it, because it will not work. And relax. Now let's go opposite direction, opposite arms, opposite way we just did. So same thing here. Don't think about it or else it won't work. I know, actually, I'm just trying to have you to get a little bit of fun in, so go ahead and relax. If you want a party trick, watch your hands go away from each other, and that's how you can get into that position. But it is a fantastic piece to get our shoulders warmed up. Last thing, back down on the floor one more time. We're gonna hit a couple more push-ups. I'm not trying to burn you out. I just wanna make sure that we're feeling good for this. So go ahead, hit through your hand release push-up variation that we're gonna be doing. Clara is still on the floor just for this warm-up portion. I am allowing down to knees for the warm-up, but not for the test. I wanna make sure we're testing with our entire body length. So that's feet on the floor, and that's why we're gonna elevate Clara today, so that she can get that number in, so we can retest the same position in a couple weeks. Go ahead and relax, and that is it. We are done. Now your test is coming up next, so sharpen those pencils, prime those muscles, because we are gonna have a great time, and we are putting ourselves to the 2-minute hand release push-up test coming up next. Testing, the test is beginning now. We got hand release push-ups. So let's go ahead and make our way to the floor. We got 10 seconds on the clock, and we got 2 minutes of max reps, hand release push-ups or elevated push-ups starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Now remember, we gotta rest at the top. So if you don't think that you can continue the next rep that you're doing, I need you guys to get on your knees, shake your arms out, and then go again. There is no resting on the floor, so you can't pull up that zombie position and just lay down. But what we're looking for is that we want nice, consistent reps through this. So if you watch Ethan, he's not gonna speed up, he's not gonna slow down, he's gonna try to keep the same pace all the way through. When he needs to rest, he'll push back up to the top, come back to his knees, and then get into the next set that he's got. We're going for a cumulative total right now. We've got Clara on our elevated version here, and that box can be as high as you need so that you can perform consistent push-ups throughout this test. We got 2 minutes. Just make sure that whatever we test with today is the same height that we'll be testing with in a couple weeks. So right now we're at 55 seconds. We're almost a minute in. So Ethan is strategically resting. You're not going to burn out on this, but we are trying to fit as many reps in during this time as we can. You got 55 seconds left, athletes, and who thought that 2 minutes could feel so long? But again, we're gonna continue working our way through these, making sure that we're keeping that nice tight plank position all the way from our heels to our shoulders. Now, if you're struggling with this, it is okay. We got a plan coming your way that's gonna help you build volume on this, because push-ups are one of those movements that is really, really difficult to get good at. You see people that are good at them, and it's so frustrating, and it's us building this consistent volume. We got 25 seconds. and then you are done with this test. So continue to try to get those reps in, but make sure you're giving me quality. We've got 15 seconds left on this test, so keep working through. Make sure you're getting those hands off the floor. You got 10 seconds left, and we are almost there. Then we are at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. That is it for our hand release push-up test. So great job, athletes, for showing up today. Make sure that you do record this number because we're gonna be basing future workouts off the volume that we accomplished today. So write it down, give yourself a pat on the back, feel that arm pump that we just got, and make sure you stick around for your cool down coming up next. Athletes, thank you again for joining us for this hand release push-up test. We're super excited to do this with you over the next couple weeks to see how we can improve. And having those metrics so that we can compare and do this test retest is a very common thing that you'll find in CrossFit. Now, if this is your first time with us, we loved having you, and I gotta ask you to come back. I want you to come back so much that we got a special offer where you can get a free month of programming at mayhemathletes.com with the code ATHOME. You can start your fitness journey today and join Clara and join Ethan along your way of becoming a better, fitter version of yourself. Whether you're looking at being able to tackle life in a much easier way and just be tougher in general so nothing can throw you down, or make it all the way to the competition floor, Mayhem Athletes got your back. You'll find a group of like-minded athletes that will encourage you along the way to your goals, and most importantly, make sure you're having a really fun time while you're doing it. So join us today. We love having you. Now, we got your cool down listed here, and I know we just did a test, but you gotta cool down and you gotta mobilize after that test because I gotta have you fit and ready to fight for the next couple weeks we got coming up. Take care of your body because it just took care of you. And most importantly, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.